Hey everybody. I'm very privileged to be speaking to Aaradhana. Aaradhana has just led all the ICP principles through, I would say, what would we call it? Giving us the energy and the yoga for the day's events. And I want to introduce Aaradhana because we had a very quick meeting in the hallway and I got this amazing energy, but it's also what you gave to the principals. So can you just introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about what you gave the principals.
Sure. Thank you, Bliss. Namaskar and hi to all those who are listening. My name is Aaradhana. Dennis has done a great job pronouncing my name, which is not very easy. I happen to be a fitness trainer since over 33 years. And then from one thing to the other, I delved into holistic living, holistic wellness, understanding mind-body connection. And I take these signature programs in mind-body connection through yoga. Happened to get into nutrition at one phase of my life. And of course, being a life coach, I put all the modules, beautifully put it through the science of yoga, and carry myself as a happiness ambassador to make people realize that, that little oak that awaits to grow into a magnificent, that little acorn waiting to grow into a magnificent oak tree is within you.
So you said today something about we have to slow down to go faster.
Yes.
And you spoke to that particularly for principles. We tend to be going fast, but doing that often doesn't get us where we need to go. So can you just talk a little bit about that? And then I also want you to talk about those couple of little things, that face yoga that you talked about as well.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Lovely. I'm so glad that touched your heart because there's an oxymoron, as I said. You got to slow down to go a lot more ahead. It's like you got to take that arrow a lot behind for it to take speed to go far, far ahead. And breathwork does just that for us.
Yeah.
So slowing down in yoga with your breath channelizes your energy, aligns you for the purpose that you are seeking in the line of your work, which most often may not be forget. And then takes the energy forward in a magnificent way. Because as I was telling you, Denise, a while ago, universe is waiting to give you the abundance. It's our overthinking that does not allow us to reach the best potential where we can. And we can do just that by mindful breathwork. Most importantly, staying so connected with your own spirit. Because the magic lies in you. It's not in us. All about energies that you have in you. And speaking of face yoga,
face yoga, yeah, definitely. Yes.
Today's day and age, we rarely ever think about doing much about. We do realize we're in a place in a digital world where this makes such a big difference. We can attract people the way you go, and you can de-stress your face with a facial expression and the lines around your face with something called face. The best exercise, but of course, is smiling. And if that does not happen naturally because there is so much stress and at times it doesn't feel like a smile that comes from within, face yoga allows your facial muscles to relax. And we did a couple of modules today, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, we did a couple of modules which allowed your face to kind of feel that the muscles exist and the stress to be released around the jaw. And then again, for the aesthetics of it, we did another reverse contrast exercise on the face.
So when we talk about the face yoga, can you demonstrate that?
Of course I will.
Because I, as strange as it looks, it actually feels good.
I'm so glad you said that because when I initially got into the practice of face yoga, the only thing I would do is wouldn't laugh. It took me a while to get skilled at the act and the fact of, okay, this is fine. So when you do a face yoga, the very first one that we did was the blowout, where you are filling air in all the areas of your face, starting right from your cheeks onto the filtrum, upper lip and lower, and all around your jaw. So it's like we blow in like a balloon, puff, the face like a balloon, and then holding two fingers on your lips, press onto your lips, and then gaze down. So it looks, the final product to hold and stay looks like this.
You should try it. It feels great, like just pushing out like that.
Pushing it all out.
You feel like in the top round, and then it was, the look and it kind of like releases. And they say that out is really good for our parasympathetic nervous system.
Absolutely, so well said.
Yes,
So well.
and so it's often not the in, which kind of alerts us where it's the out. That and we have had different people that have spoken to us about that. I've done some reading around that. What you did just briefly speak about just then was this idea of the mind creates sometimes the turbulence in our heads. And sometimes we've got to get it and put it into a box. And then we let our heart come forward. If you were going to give any advice to Australian or New South Wales secondary principals, what would that be in terms of maintaining their passion for their role or their purpose without getting into the minutiae of what? Yes. So any advice?
Well, this is for anybody who is in a professional space. I think we start with the intention and the emotion of wanting it so badly. We get into it, and the humdrum of life takes over. So we forget our passion why we started in the first place. Always better to take that moment, pause, understand, and then move forward. I think it's very important for all the educators, very close to my heart, because they are actually sculpting the best citizens for the world. So for them to understand, wherever your focus goes, your energy moves. If you keep your focus on the negatives and the stress, energy will only go in that direction. If you align yourself and keep your focus towards the purpose as to what you want to achieve, irrespective of all the hurdles, and stay so in tune with yourself. The road may be rough, but there's a peace within it. And a journey where you are completely got those beautiful peace, where you can't have anything ruffle the feathers, no matter what it may be on the outside, is how life should go. And I think for that, alignment is very important. Mind-body connection and alignment. Yeah. So we talk of inner work, Denise. Yeah. So inner work is something that you do on a daily basis. I'm doing it while I speak with you. You do it while you speak with me, we don't realize it. So we won't dissect that energy, but do that. Stay connected to your purpose, and you'll know where to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's wise advice. And you did speak just then around that meeting where you can feel, something's rising in you, but then you kind of got to call it back to where, that breath or that whether it's the mudras, so it's just about centering back.
Absolutely, centering back. And I think once you are convinced that your biggest asset is your energy, you won't waste it on other things.
Yeah, that's right. It's too valuable. Yeah.
And what are we? We are just the balls of energy floating in space, which is called planet Earth. And my energy with your energy, we vibrate that energy together. Sometimes synergy takes place that which way. Two energies which may not be similar comes together to bring the best energy forth. So that's good too, but as long as it serves the purpose for what you are doing. I think that's so important. So as you rightly said, take that head, keep it at the side, put a lid on it, and let your heart do all the talking.
Yeah, wow, that was great advice in the hallway today.
Yeah.
We're going to finish up, and because we are in India, and I think Aaradhana, it's been a pleasure because you brought something around to us that nowhere else can do but India. And seriously, if yoga is its birth place is really India. And so I want to thank you for your time, your energy that you gave us when you've got, you know, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 people from across the world and bringing them into a really big piece of India. On that note, thank you. Thanks, everybody. I will see you next week. And thank you again. All right,
Thank you for
bye.
being so receiving and taking the energy as well. Thank you so much.